I had to tell my mom about how badly Mike Tyson's gonna kill that guy.
Happy podcast, and may the tropes be ever in your troop. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Alina.
I'm Peter, and Cole has been sentenced to the Hunger Games, so he's dead.
Actually, I can't be sentenced to the Hunger Games. I'm not
Shut
young
up.
enough.
Shut
First of
up.
all, and second of all, they only pulled one boy and one girl, and I'm neither of those things. So I think I'm fine.
According to the government, you are a boy.
The government can fucking put a stick up its ass if it wants to be so.
I'm the only
Fuck it,
girl here.
I'll kill the government.
I'm the only girl here. Does that mean
That's
I'm
the
going
plot of the
automatically?
third book. You haven't gotten it yet.
You haven't gotten there yet. Hi. Hello, everyone. Today's topic is the Hunger Games books and movies, depending on who here has watched and or read what.
Sure done, neither.
I did both as a teenager, and then never again. Yeah, the Hunger Games.
I've got pop culture osmosis and 3 different video essays under my belt. And a sickness.
Are you down
I've
with
got
the
a very
sickness?
shaky memory of all 3 books. And I'm not even gonna try and remember the first movie because that happened at some point. I don't remember when. I barely remember what happened in the movie. All I remember is that it was it covered the broad strokes of what happened in the books, I guess.
Yeah.
I think from what I do know, the movies are really good adaptations. But I've never watched all of them or read the books, so I don't have a judgment on that.
Based on sheer memory alone, yes. Yes, they were really good at adaptations. Like, they cut things and stuff, but it was stuff that, like, it didn't need to be in the movie. And it was clear that, like, you know, it's trying to cram this entire story into, like, an hour. I get it. They hit the broad strokes, and that's all you really need to do to make a good adaptation. That and do the characters right, which they did. So, good job, movies. I guess. Not counting the most recent one, not because it's good or bad, just because I have no idea what it's about, and I haven't seen anything
Yep,
about it.
It's a prequel film.
Plot synopsis? I guess.
The plot synopsis of the first Hunger Games is I was gonna start off with you play as Katniss Everdeen, but it's not a fucking video game.
You play as Everdeen.
You play as Katniss Everdeen, 16-year-old from District 12.
There are 2 things that kept me from the Hunger Games until I realized it was good. Which was the fact that the advertising for the movies focused entirely too much on the romantic subplot, which made me disinterested in it. And also, I don't like the characters' names, any of them.
I like
Yeah.
Katniss's name.
Personally, that's personal taste for me. I'm not a fan of them.
Katniss's name
The
is
romantic
good.
subplot was never like a good aspect of the book anyway.
No. Because
It felt very forced.
well, okay, the book was made for
I've
like
heard a few interpretations that I'm gonna champion later on, but we'll get to that.
yeah, the book was made for like teenagers.
It was a young adult novel, which
Yeah.
meant romance is forced. There's no way around it.
Yeah, it was an added
One
layer.
of the few good young adult novels.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I never liked the romance part either personally in the Hunger Games, just because it was like, bro, I want to see the cool bow and arrow lady bow and arrow. I don't need this triangle happening. Get it out of here. I don't care about either of these
Yeah,
lads.
it's still an angle. There's never any true love triangles. It's always
It's an angle.
It's always a love 45-degree angle.
Yeah, one that never fucking goes anywhere either.
Let's cover the
Anyway,
plot of,
anyway, Hunger Games would be better without the romance aspect.
I think that's
moving
wrong, and
on.
we'll get to it.
Okay. Plot synopsis first before we do anything else. Just on the odd
Before I
chance
start
that
killing my friends.
just on the odd chance that someone doesn't know the plot of the Hunger Games. I'm sure they know what the Hunger Games is, but they don't know the plot. Okay, so basically,
Yeah, everyone knows what the Hunger Games is. No one, or less people are going to know what the actual plot of the books are. And the plot of the books are children get sent to the Hunger Games to kill each other for the entertainment of the government.
Yeah.
As a form of population control.
Yeah.
Control of the population, not the actual
Yeah, not the numbers of the population.
Nothing
Yeah.
Not what China's trying to do.
Sending 2 kids from each district isn't going to do much in terms of population reduction.
Yeah.
But
Especially not once a year.
Yeah. So yeah, this book focuses on Katniss Everdeen as she is the narrator of the book. And it's woo. And it's basically the story of this alternate reality where this world is divided into 12 districts. It used to be 13. Not anymore. And
several years ago, there was an attempted rebellion, and they blew up District 13.
in response.
And I think that's when they started the Hunger Games?
Yes, I think
No,
so.
the Hunger Games was the thing before that. They rebelled because of the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Along with a bunch of other shit.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so it's about Katniss Everdeen. And at the beginning it just basically is like, this is her life in District 12. She was poor, her family's poor. She has to go illegally hunting in the woods with her friend Gail, in order to get enough food to live. And the book starts on the Day of the Reaping, which is the day where they select Hunger Games contestants via random chance. So, after doing a little bit of illegal hunting, Katniss goes to the reaping because you have to go. It's required by law. And they pull.
Hunting is, as a brief aside, sorry, hunting is particularly illegal, so that way you have to be dependent on the capital for food.
Yes.
Each district has its own expertise, I guess, a job that each of them do.
Yeah,
And only 2 of them are agriculture.
Yeah, District 12's is mining.
Yep. District 13 was specifically coal mining.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the specializations get less and less prestigious and monetarily favorable the further out you go. So District 1 is the best district to live in, and naturally Katniss lives in District 12, which is the fucking worst.
I don't know, man. I think it would have sucked to live in District 13.
Yeah, you got fucking nuked.
Yeah, you're dead. But yeah, so where was I? Cole, why would you do this? Oh.
Sorry, you're at the Day of the Reaping.
Right. So, the way this works is sort of like a raffle, honestly. Like they have one bowl full of girls' names and one bowl full of boys' names. And they pull a random name from a bowl, and whoever's name is picked, you get to go to the Hunger Games and probably die. So
District 12 has not had a victor in many years.
Many
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 50 years or something.
Something along those lines. But yeah, so pull the name out of the hat for the girls, and they got Primrose. Who's Primrose? That's Katniss's younger daughter, sister.
Sister.
I almost said daughter.
Younger daughter.
Younger daughter. Nope.
It's her mom's younger daughter.
Mom's younger daughter. Yeah, I think that's what my mind was thinking, but I was like, it's the sister.
It's a weird way of saying younger sister.
I don't know. I think I melded two sentences together in my brain, and it came out wrong. Anyway, Katniss's sister.
And so Katniss sacrifices, or chooses to take her place because that's a thing you can do.
Yes,
it just doesn't happen very often because like
who would volunteer for that?
Kill themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah. The other way you can. The other way you can get into the Hunger Games if you want to, for some reason, is you can volunteer as tribute. And Katniss...
You know, for a battle royale of children, there's a lot less volunteers. I would assume that children have a lot more bloodlust than the book portrayed them to have.
It might be different, like, cause like, it happens every year, so it could be like they see all of their like peers and friends go and then get murdered, and then be like, I don't want to do that, and also my friend is dead.
And also my friend is dead.
I got that. That might be a deterrent. Like they might still have a bloodlust, but it's like well, yeah. Tommy got fucking javelin. Like, I don't want to be Tommy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Katniss volunteers herself so her younger sister doesn't have to go to the Hunger Games, because, like, well, yeah. And random boy named Pull from Hat, Peter, which I will admit is a dumb name because he works at a bakery.
Yeah.
Like, I hate his name. But anyway. Peter Malak is chosen as the lad, which is revealed to be someone that Katniss is vaguely familiar with. While she was starving on the street one day in her younger years, Peter threw her some bread. So good job, Peter. You didn't let someone starve to death, I guess. Cool. So after this, these two are sent to the capital. The capital, the main place that's technically not a district. This is the capital. Is the bestest place to be.
Definitely. Definitely not an underclass of people who've had their fucking tongues cut out, who keep everything running as slave labor. That's not here at all.
Nope. Couldn't be here. But yeah, so they meet what's her name? Cliff Notes, help me. Effie Trinket.
They meet two people. They meet Effie and they meet Haymitch.
And Haymitch.
Haymitch is a fine name. I'm actually fine with that. The only one I really have issue with is Peeta.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of them are a little weird, but fine.
Yeah. I mean, like, the culture is different there. I could see their names being a little weird. But, like, Peeta?
Yeah, the dystopian future is weird.
Yeah, like, but Peeta, really?
I think I know. I don't. Someone explained it to me once. I don't like what they thought that the author was going for, and I don't remember what it was. I do still think that she should have been aware that people would make the bread jokes in perpetuity.
Yeah.
That is an oversight on her part.
Imagine.
Yeah, he was just look. Peeta was just divinely railroaded into being who he was.
Imagine you're a baker and you have and your son's born, and it's like, what are you gonna call him? And you just look at one of the bread items on your shelf and you're like, Peeta.
Yeah, but you gotta change the name a little so it doesn't look like you copied.
Yeah.
To change the I to an E.
Yeah.
2 E's,
2
actually.
E's, yeah. Gotta make the word count.
That's
The
so
letter
much
count.
worse!
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. It's like they were going for Peter and then spelled it wrong.
Peter, it's you!
Peter, it's you.
No.
You're in.
No, don't do this to me.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, so they meet Effie and Haymitch. Effie's an eccentric lady from the capital. Haymitch is a drunk guy who is the 12th district's only surviving Hunger Games candidate.
He's also my favorite character.
He is really good.
Because he lives in permanent anguish.
I was gonna say, because he's familiar to you.
Yeah.
I do like him a lot.
But also just because, alcoholics in the dystopian future are usually pretty cool dudes.
Valid. They usually are alcoholics because they've recognized the system is fucked, but like they aren't gonna do anything about it, so they just drown their sorrows in alcohol.
These are the things that tempt me in real life to become an alcoholic.
I wouldn't recommend
Don't do that. It's expensive. It's an
Yeah.
expensive hobby.
that also.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Okay, yeah. I'll make moonshine.
All right, so yeah, they meet various other people in the capital, such as their stylist.
Oh, that guy's cool. I
He
forget
is-
his name.
Sina.
Cinna, yeah.
Cinna. Yeah, Cinna. And Cinna, like, sort of starts this whole train that goes with Katniss for the rest of the books forever, which is the nickname Girl on Fire, because he puts her and Peeta in outfits in their little chariot thing ceremony.
He burns children alive.
Yeah, but like not really. It's cool fashion stuff that makes it look like they're on fire, but they're not actually on fire. And that Girl on Fire thing goes for the rest of the trilogy. So, important note. Anyway. So basically we start training. They start training for the games. And this is when the love stuff starts to sort of butt in. Because because like they it's recommended by the people around them that they stick together, like they're inseparable. And according to Katniss's inner dialogue in the book, she's very confused as to whether Peeta's kindness is like a genuine kindness or just playing the part of guy I'm connected to.
Peeta's had a crush on her since they were like 7.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they get to the part where they're interviewed by a TV guy.
I may have another aside.
You might have another aside. Okay.
The point you made momentarily of like if Katniss is being like unsure if she can actually unsure if she's being real or not, is I think a really good point, because her entire inner monologues, the book is entirely in first person, she's distrustful of literally everybody.
Yeah.
There is not a single person that there's not a single person that she actively trusts, with the exception at this point in time only of Haymitch, because he seems, first of all, incapable of hiding anything,
Yeah.
and secondly, she perceives the two of them. My microphone. My microphone. It's okay.
The Capitol's listening.
She views her as being similar people, as does Haymitch, because they are similar people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Two peas in a depressed pod.
all the things is that Katniss is extremely.
Cole,
Your mic did stuff again.
your mic is dying. But-
No.
Unfortunately, yes.
Katniss is very distrustful of everybody all the time.
Okay.
And that continues throughout all of the books.
Mhm.
And actually is beneficial to her in a few circumstances, although it is mostly harmful because it prevents her from, like, forming like genuine bonds
Yeah.
with most people.
Just a little bit. But yeah,
Interview.
so yeah, there's this interview that they do with all of the contestants before they go into the real deal. And during this interview, Peter professes his love for Katniss. He tells the whole audience that he's in love with her. And this pisses Katniss the fuck off. She gets very upset. Because she thinks that it makes her look weak. But Haymitch is like, hey, no, it makes you look desirable. You want that for sponsors and stuff. So they give you stuff so you survive. So after this, the actual Hunger Games start. It's a bit of a time skip, obviously, but like.
So there's a brief training section.
That is before the interview.
Is that the start of the Hunger Games?
No. The
always-
training was before the interview.
It's before the interview?
Yeah.
Right.
I briefly mentioned it. It
Sorry, I missed that.
It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, so the 74th Hunger Games start. And yeah, they start. Some people go for the middle bit called the cornucopia, which has a bunch of stuff in it that could help you live. Some people just run into the fucking woods. Katniss, what Peeta does, Peeta just runs into the woods. He doesn't even go for the cornucopia. Katniss, just like quickly runs in and grabs a bag from the cornucopia and then like gets the fuck out because the cornucopia is just a death trap basically. Because all of the contestants run to the one point.
It is the place typically where there's like the most amount of deaths at once.
But yeah, everybody runs into the woods. So night falls. Katniss is sleeping in a tree or whatever, and she sees what the book calls the careers. And the careers are this group of children from the rich districts that are trained from a young age to be in the Hunger Games. So they will just volunteer in their district to be in the Hunger Games because that's their whole life. That's what they're here for. And so they are like the elite fighting, killing machines compared to everyone else who is just like mining, farming. Just like going about their life like a normal person, as normal as one can be in these circumstances. But yeah, and Katniss her trust issues flaring up here because she finds out that PETA's with them in an alliance, and she's like, "You traitorous bitch."
It's worth noting.
Verbatim.
Verbatim. That's
verbatim.
a quote
That
from the
is
book.
verbatim.
Yes, totally,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. It's worth noting as well. There can only be one victor to the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Even if both, excuse me, even if both tributes from one district are left standing at the end, one of them has to kill the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate.
It sucks.
Maybe you just shouldn't have been a teenager.
Maybe you should have skipped right from 11 to 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have avoided this whole problem. Yeah, so she's just like up in this tree. And they see her. But Peeta's like, let's just wait her out, guys. She's gonna have to come down eventually. Just wait it out, you know? And so they wait it out, and Katniss is given a little tip by this child called Rue from District 11, because she's also in the trees, but she's higher up in the trees.
And she's also, I think, 11.
Yes, she's 11.
Okay. And she's 11.
From
And
District
therefore,
11.
much, much smaller and can get higher up in the tree.
Yes. And she points out like a fucking bee's nest, but these aren't normal. Is it bees or wasps?
I think they're tracker bees.
Bees.
Tracker jacks?
Tracker
I
jacks?
think they're called tracker jacks.
Okay.
Bunch of weird animal names in this series.
Yeah.
Tracker jacker. Nests. That's what it's tracker jacker. I don't know what I'm just gonna call them bees. there's a
That's what they are.
Yeah, it's a bee's nest. There's a bee's nest in the tree that Katniss is in. So Katniss.
Bees, but everyone's allergic.
Yeah, basically. So Katniss just fucking cuts the branch that this bee's nest is on, and it lands like basically on the careers and Peeta. And it kills how many?
It kills a decent amount of them.
I think it kills 2 of them.
2 of them?
It
That's
kills 2.
decent amount.
Yeah,
There's only
that is
like
a decent
fucking how
amount.
many of these guys? There's like 24.
In the
12
whole
districts, 2 tributes.
Yeah.
24.
In the whole competition, yeah. Especially since these are the careers, like knocking 2 of them out first night. That's damn good.
Not even mentioning the cornucopia amount of, like, obviously there were a bunch of other deaths there.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember those ones as well. Because that was a lot of extras just killing each other. So anyway, one of these people that's stung to death had a bow and arrow, which, as you might know, Katniss is really good with. So Katniss steals it off of her corpse, and then she also got stung a little bit, so she's having a bad time, and she runs off, but not before maybe seeing Peeta and who tells her to run away. It's kind of hard to know if that actually happened or not because she's hallucinating like crazy, man. But she runs off regardless. And she forms an alliance with Rue, because Rue's cool. I like Rue.
Rue's cool and also 11.
Yeah.
And like needs the help because she's 11.
She's 11, yeah.
And yeah, 11 and from the second worst district.
Yeah.
Depending on your perspective, it could be actually the worst district. Because like remember, it's not all in like delineated number order. It's districts 1, 2, and 4 that are the closest to the capital. Not physically, but like politically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And District 12 doesn't allow its children to work in the mines, or like the capital is forbidden them from working in the mines or something. But in District 11, the children do work in the fields. So it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
I'd rather be unemployed than So District 12 sounds better to me.
I'd rather have food.
You'd starve to death.
District
I don't
11
eat a
is
whole
food.
lot anyway. It's
I
fine.
eat so much, dude. I would need to be an 11. I would die so fast at 12.
Sounds like you'd want to. Sounds like you'd want to be like anywhere that's not the lower 6th district.
Well, okay, yeah, but if you had to pick from the lower,
Yeah.
I want to be an 11.
They don't even get to keep most of their food. It has to be produced and then.
You can like nick some off the
sent to other
top, you know?
places.
Like listen, if Katniss can go off into the fucking woods and illegally hunt, I can nick some off the top of the goddamn crops, okay?
All right.
Exactly. Anyway, we learned that Rue really likes mockingjays, and because mockingjays are another genetically modified animal. They really like genetically modified animals here. That can like it's just copy a thing you do, which is where the
They
iconic
can copy things that you say and
Yeah.
songs and things.
yeah.
They came originally, I think. There's a part of Southwards and Snakes about this, where they originally come from. One is a normal, natural bird. It's a mockingbird,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other is a specific bird that the capital bred, genetically engineered, to, like reproduce melodies of like through bird song. And eventually, over time, the two populations, I forget what the name of the other one was. It was something J, because they put them together and you get Mockingjay. And they interbred over time, creating the Mockingjay. So it's
Huh.
it's a fun little thing of like how it's a small demonstration of like how the capital's shit often gets out of their hands. They couldn't even keep a handle on the bird population.
Yeah.
Although they do weaponize mockingjays.
They do.
They're not gonna let an opportunity slip through their fingers.
Well, no, but you know.
More than they usually do.
More than they usually do.
But yeah, anyway, so they decide to use these mockingjays to communicate. While they carry out their super special plan to destroy the fucking rich lad's food. The plan succeeds. They destroy the food, but Rue is in trouble. Katniss tries to save her. Does not go well. Rue dies. And Katniss, instead of, doing what the contestants are supposed to do and just leaving the body to fucking rot, she, like, covers it in flowers and gives her a whole moment and everything, which starts a rebellion in the 11th district.
It's a really important moment, because
Yes.
half the point of the Hunger Games, well, actually the entire point of it, is the brutality.
Yes.
It is stripping all of everybody, even the careers involved, of their humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And this relatively small act of like, not even really a burial,
Yeah. Just
but at least honoring her body.
yeah.
Is
Treating
a little. Sorry.
it's fine. Like treating her like another human being.
No,
You know.
restores a little bit of the humanity to her. That was fucking taken for being thrown into this situation.
Yeah. And it starts
Important theme alert.
and it starts a rebellion in District 11.
Well, it starts a riot.
It starts a riot. Riot, rebellion, capital C isn't the same thing.
Yeah, they probably do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which I remember that more from the movie than from the books. It has the moment with Katniss and Rue, which is very nice, and then it just cuts to District 11, and they're all so fucking mad, and they just start throwing everything and punching guards in the face. I'm like, yeah, riot. But anyway, at this point, there's only like 6 people left. Out of 24.
Yeah, people are dying in the background the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, the runner of the games, Claudius, declares a new rule that 2 tributes can win as long as they're from the same district. So hearing this, Katniss goes to find Peeta, because it's like, holy shit, we can both go home. Whether I trust you or not is irrelevant here. That's cool.
Because at this point, they're the only 2 from the same district left, right?
I don't
think so.
know. I think so, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so.
I don't know. I made that announcement then. I thought that happened later.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I remember the beginning of the book and the end of the book and fuck all in between.
Cliff notes are helpful. Anyway. So
Reading's hard.
Katniss sets off to find Peeta, and she does. She finds him. And unfortunately, he ain't doing so good. Apparently that whole hallucination sequence with the bees, not a hallucination. He told her to run, and then he fucking tried to fight off one of the careers by himself. Like a madman. So he is very injured. He has a wound on his leg that is quite infected. And Katniss just drags him to a cave to try to fucking figure the situation out, and then remembers that this is a TV show, technically, and she can get gifts from people if she entertains them enough. So she starts getting all flirty with Peeta. Oh, the humanity of the true lovers stuck in this horrendous situation. Oh, the drama, the ratings.
Imagine the ratings. Winks at one of the cameras.
Yes, they do get stuff, but it's not medicine that he needs for the infection. It's like, it's either water or soup or something. I don't know. It's food and or water. It helps a little. You know. After this, Claudius once again gets on his fucking speaker, and he's like, "Yo, guys, we're gonna be having a feast, quote unquote, at the cornucopia," which just means that there's a bunch of bags at the cornucopia, that have whatever the contestants need the absolute most at that time. Katniss obviously is like, "Oh, the medicine." Duh. And Peeta's like, "No, you can't do the thing." Which is when Haymitch decides he's gonna send a little gift, which is a sleeping potion, basically. It's not a sleeping potion, but it's gonna put Peeta to sleep. So Katniss puts Peeta to sleep.
Boy.
Go to sleep, boy. And then she goes off to the cornucopia to get the thing so he doesn't fucking die. she goes, and she's about to grab the bag, but then some career from District 2 pins her to the ground and is like, I'm gonna cut your face up because I'm fucked in the head. And then the other contestant from District 11 is like, yo, you. Yeah, you, the second district person. Die! And kills her. I think because she was joking about Rue dying. Which is like, oh. But anyway, the District 11 boy kills the second district lady, and then lets Katniss go just this once, because he's like, you were friends with Rue for a bit, and I appreciate that, but if I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you. And they all run off.
I want to go home.
I want to go home, yeah. There was definitely medicine in that bag. It helps the infection that Peter's got. And then they go to hunt for things and gather for things like food. And then Peter almost fucking kills himself. Because he almost eats poisonous berries. Like a dumbass.
Yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, Peter's not, like, very good at this whole thing.
No. He is a baker. He bake. That's all he got. But yeah, so Katniss stops him in time before he kills himself. However, there is a different contestant that tried to basically copy what Peeta was doing under the assumption that he knew what he was doing, and they ate the berries and they're dead. So yeah, yeah, so basically, there's only like 3 people left at this point. And so, the game, the arena, basically using the power of just drying up all of the water everywhere else, forces the rest of the remaining contestants into the middle, or the cornucopia. However, what they also do is decide to send in mutant dogs to sort of speed this shit up. And this eventually results in Katniss, Peeta, and one of the career people being on top of on the roof of the cornucopia, because there's dogs everywhere that want to kill them.
Fun fact about the dogs, they're mutts, and they're specifically genetically engineered to look as if they have the faces of all the other dead tributes.
Yeah.
Katniss sees one that reminds her of Rue and freaks the fuck out. A little bit.
I mean, I would too. It's a little weird.
What? Giant human-faced hounds?
It's a little more than just weird, I think.
Nah, that's just weird.
I don't know, guys. I've spent the past week playing the Dishonored series. This is pretty normal for me at this point.
But yeah, so they're on the roof. There's an altercation. Peeta gets fucking damseled because he's an idiot. Because basically the career guy's got him in a headlock and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill him if you don't put the bow down. Ha 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 ha. And then Katniss shoots him in the hand and he goes, owie, and then falls to the floor and the mutants eat him. Now, big difference from the movies to the book here that I want to point out, just because of the different levels of cruelty. In the movie, the guy falls, he starts getting eaten by the mutants, and Katniss just shoots him with an arrow and puts him out of his misery. In the book, he is eaten by the mutants the whole fucking night, And only when, like, the sun rises does Katniss decide, I'll put him out of his misery now. So in the book, there is much more suffering for this career lad.
Pain.
Yeah. But anyway, so sun rises. Seems like everything's going to be okay, except Claudius gets back on the mic and is like, "Oh, psych! I'm getting rid of that rule I added earlier that lets 2 people win. Now only 1 can win. Idiots."
Sorry, I'm a liar.
Sorry, I'm a fucking liar. And so Peeta tries to do the thing where he's like, "Just shoot me! Save yourself!" And then Katniss is like, "You're a fucking idiot, here," and pulls out some of the poisonous berries they found earlier. It was like, "Here, we'll just kill ourselves at the exact same time and they won't have a winner." Because fuck them. And right before they're about to kill themselves, Claudius is like, "Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Did I say that rule's revoked? I was kidding again. You win, congrats. Please don't die."
Sorry, I'm a big jokester.
It
A jester, even one might say. Haha.
was just a silly little prank. It was just a silly little joke, guys.
The deaths of all 22 of those people?
It's pretty funny, right?
They just got pranked. They just got fucking pranked.
They got pranked so hard they turned into dogs.
Yeah, so they get their wounds treated and stuff, and all is well. They're alive. Katniss gets a bit of a warning from Haymitch. She's like, "Hey, so the Capitol didn't really like the fact that you just fucking cheated the game. That no one has cheated for 74 years.
Well, if they didn't like it, they should have let me kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have committed to their ideals and let me die.
Yeah. Yeah, they think, so basically the Capitol's like, "That whole berry thing made us look like fucking idiots. We don't like that, and the only way, according to Haymitch, the only way to get them to not be mad at her is if she can convince them that she is just so madly in love with Peeta, just so unbelievably in love with Peeta, that she couldn't even think of the concept of killing the man." And then they go back to District 12. And Peeta, Candace's whole distrust thing with Peeta, whether Peeta actually loves her or not. Peeta does actually love her, as we've discussed. He had a crush on her since he was like 7 or something. And he learns on this train ride home that Katniss was just pretending the whole time for the game. and he gets all upsetty spaghetti. He feels betrayed and sad. And yeah, they go back to District 12. That's how the first book ends.
I'm gonna make my case for the romantic subplot in the series as we move on to books 2 and 3. Which is that symbolically, from a different level.
From a different level.
Katniss is not strictly choosing between Peeta and Gale. As the series goes on, she is choosing between which of their worldviews does she also align with. Gale becomes significantly more vengeful and full of hatred and rage, and that fuels him. And angst, I guess, sure.
They're teenagers. They're all full of angst.
That's true. That is true. Right, and of going down the like horrific vengeful path of like I think I'm gonna kill everyone who gets in my way. I think I'm gonna do that. Versus the more humanitarian view of things that PETA has, and it's ultimately what that means for her. It's not about her choosing between one boy or the other.
Which
it's about like
these boys is she gonna kiss?
like that's ultimately not the point. The point is really what perspective of the world is she going to continue to have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
realizing now that I forgot a lot of the Hunger Games because before doing this recap of the first book, I forgot that Gale was a person. I forgot that the romantic aspect of Peeta and Katniss's relationship was brought on from the actual was externally forced in the book, not in terms of just feeling forced from a narrative perspective.
Yeah, like literally, like everyone around them was like, "You need to be in love."
Yeah, no, I had forgotten the whole book basically, aside from the fact that they go to the Hunger Games and they agree to a suicide pact until they don't.
Until they don't.
Anyway, book 2.
Book 2.
One
On
that
the
I
book 2.
remember even more vaguely. I know the arena that they go to this time is like tropical, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the next book is The Hunger Games Catching Fire. My copy of the book never
wonder why it's called that.
I honestly forgot what the fucking book title was called. Yeah, no, I'm less and less healthier than I thought.
Yeah, the next book is Catching Fire, and it takes place 6 months after the first book ended. Basically, because they both won, they're fucking rich as hell now. Because that's how
and the
winning...
capital hates them. And the capital hates them.
And the capital hates them, yes. But they are rich as hell.
They live in the Victor Village.
Yeah. And it is at this point that it is revealed that Katniss and Peeta have to go on this thing called a victory tour, which is essentially something that all winning contestants have to go on, where they just go to every district and are like, I won, fuck yeah. So she's thinking about this while she's like hunting, obviously. And she goes home to get ready to go on the tour, only to find that the president's at her fucking house. So President Snow, the president of the Panem, I think that's where they live. Anyway,
the head honcho
of
the world.
Yeah, Panem. Yeah, the president of the world. Yeah, Snow
as far as they know.
For all intents and purposes.
One of my favorite things about the setting is that everyone in Panem is so propagandized. We don't know if there is, because it's technically a post-apocalypse. It's a dystopic future.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know. And Panem takes place in like basically all of North America, almost.
I think so, yeah.
We don't know what other countries are out there. There are probably other countries, but we don't know about them.
Yeah. I have no idea.
like statistically speaking, there has to be at least one more, right?
Yeah, especially if Panem over here is only the North American continent, there has to be more on the other continents. Like, probably. Unless everyone on the other continents fucking died. Which I guess could happen, but it's unlikely. Anyway, so Snow's at Katniss's house. Just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Well, Snow will tell you what the fuck he's doing here. He's like, hey, Katniss, listen, buddy, pal, friend, chum, you need to convince me that you and Peeta are like really, really in love with each other, or I'm gonna kill your entire fucking family. And I need you to do it on this tour. Okay, cool, thanks, bye. Yeah, so Snow basically threatens Katniss to fucking amp up the acting here.
What a nice fellow.
What a nice guy.
Man,
Absolutely
he's
nothing
so
wrong.
Constructive
old.
criticism on our acting.
Yeah, so basically, he also explains that, a lot of what Katniss did during the Hunger Games, the 74th Hunger Games, got a lot of districts in the rebellious mindset, which is a big no-no for him. So yeah, if she can just convince everybody that her and Peeta are like the most in love people in the entire universe, he'll let it slide, maybe. And he won't kill her.
Assuming that act calms down the rebellious aspect of it, which it fucking won't. I don't understand why he thought it would.
No.
I guess because he wanted the third book.
But yeah, so then there's this whole thing where it's like it's basically suggested that she might have to marry Peeta to get this across, which is like she just grapples with that for a bit. They also reconcile because at the end of the first book, if you remember, they weren't doing so hot. but they become pals again, and everything's fine. Yeah, so they go on the victory tour. They start the victory tour. They start in District 11. Yo. And of course, the whole of District 11 is like they one like I think it's like one guy in the crowd whistles the fucking Mockingjay tune, and then everyone else does the thing with the three fingers and put up in the air. That's in the Hunger Game series, and this results in chaos. And they're pulled off of the stage by the Capitol people, because it's like, ruh-roh, that's rebellious behavior. We don't want that. Yeah, it's at this point that Katniss and Haymitch update Peeta on the whole threatening to kill Katniss's entire family situation.
Yeah, all two of them. Her mom, who's in kind of like a fugue state after her dad died. After Katniss's dad died, her mom's husband died.
Yeah.
And her little sister Primrose,
who's here.
11.
It's 11.
Oh god, yeah, we didn't even touch on the fact that like part of the reason Katniss got so attached to Rue in such a short amount of time is that she reminded her of her own sister.
Right, yeah, that was a thing. Well, she's dead now, but anyway.
She's dead now. And maybe they turned her dead body into a dog.
Maybe.
It's unclear how the mutts are made, but
Yeah.
They sure do with
It's-
human faces.
Yeah, it's either they made the contestants' dead bodies into dogs, or they just made it look like that to screw with the still living contestants.
Do you think they make all of the contestant mutts before the Hunger Game begins? So that way, because like they don't necessarily know for sure who's gonna die and who isn't. I think they make all of them and then like release them as they die.
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. They don't go into detail.
I think with the technology at their disposal, they could have pretty easily grabbed bodies at the moment the other contestants weren't by them, and chimeraed them into disturbing flesh puppets.
That too. It's hard to say just because they don't go into detail about it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just everyone's forced into the cornucopia, and there's dogs now. You know. But anyway, with PETA on board now, with the plan, throughout the rest of the tour, Katniss and Peter are like doing everything they fucking can to get this agenda of them being really, 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 really in love with each other across, and it's it's not. It's not that great for mental health, but they're going. But it's still not enough. You see, it's still not enough. It's still not enough of them. So they finally get the catch-all. They finally put down the big bomb. Peeta proposes to Katniss, and she accepts the proposal, and it's still not enough. According to Snow.
You can't just get married.
You can't just get married.
You gotta have sex on like in front of an entire district for 3 hours.
You gotties. You teenagers. God Christ. Imagine. Because like
Oh, I
this is
don't
also
wanna.
really- really-
I don't wanna. No.
Don't imagine if that was in the book. Don't imagine the scene. A major point with the Hunger Games is that technically what Suzanne Collins, the author of the Hunger Games, is pulling from is her time that she worked as a screenwriter, and specifically drawing upon the experiences of the exploitation of children within the film industry.
Oh god, yeah. That's
And
what-
also, like, Snow's a politician, so it's doubly fitting for that to actually have it.
I-
It would make perfect sense for that to actually have been.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily a scene in the book, but like a suggestion from Snow.
Something that Snow thinks would finally convince him.
Maybe if they fucked.
God. No, Snow's fucked up enough. I think he could think that like the only act that they could do that would convince me is if they had sex in public.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, there's a party at Snow's house after that.
After the fictional sex scene.
No.
It's fictional in the canon of the fictional universe.
It's twice fictional. It's doubly not real.
Does that mean it cancels out?
No.
Okay.
No, it is. Yeah, it does not work like that.
Thank God. And after the party, they go home. To prepare for the Harvest Festival. There's a lot of fucking festivals in this place.
Yeah, you gotta keep the people's minds off of, authoritarianism.
Yeah.
And again, the capital specifically, they're just partying all the time.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so the Harvest Festival.
Unless you're one of those people who had their tongues cut out and turned into a fucking slave.
Yeah.
And doing the opposite of partying all the time.
And you're partying in silence. Anyway, yeah. So Candace, while just fucking running around town, sees the TV. And the TV says that District 8 is also getting a little rebellious. Ruh-roh.
And a little fighty in
A
there.
little fighty in there. So Katniss, after learning this, goes out into the woods with Gale. I haven't heard from Gale in a hot second. And she's like, hey, you wanna fucking run, man? And Gale's like, yeah, man, let's run. And then Gale decides now is the perfect time to be like, by the way, I fucking love you, lady. And Katniss is like, yeah,
That's cool and all, but
that's cool.
I'm
man.
engaged.
You know, and this makes Gale sad. I understand the point of the love triangle. That will not stop me from making fun of it.
Sorry, Gail. I'm in an arranged marriage. Have my family hostage, and if I don't go through with it, they die, and then I die.
Yeah, then we all die. We don't want to die. Yeah. So.
And as we all know, I, as the main character, if I die, you all despawn.
You all cease to exist.
No, you can switch perspective after.
Nah, they just cease to be. There is only one perspective. Anyway, so Gale then learns that rebellions are happening, and he's like, you know what? No, I don't want to run away. I want to fight. I want to fight, man. And Katniss.
I want to kill people.
I want to kill people. I want revenge. And Katniss is like, maybe don't, and he's like, maybe do. And he storms off because he gets all grumpy because he's like, you don't agree with my killing. Meh.
Such a narc, bro.
He's such a narc. He's such a square.
Narc.
Such a fucking square. Yeah, anyway, Katniss walks home after this and sees that Gale has immediately been detained by authorities and is getting whipped to shit. For killing a wild turkey. How dare he do such a thing? Katniss then takes Gale to her house so her mom can give him healing, and love triangle stuff ensues. I guess. Anyway.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
The love triangle.
oh no, not the triangle. Yeah, so District 12 starts to deteriorate. As in the state of District 12 is a crate of wedding dresses appears at Katniss's house from the capital. I guess just because they want to fuck with her, I don't know. And so in a bout of I can't fucking take this shit anymore, she runs off into the woods again, and she encounters two people from District 8. And it's like, huh?
What?
She learns through these people that District 8 started uprising the second that Peeta and Katniss got engaged. And at first it seemed successful, but it's not going so well right now, and it was actually stopped. So these two tell Katniss they're on the way to District 13, because apparently, according to them, it exists still. I
thought all this happened in the third book.
No, the third book. Nope.
Nope.
Huh.
Nuh-uh. Yeah. They don't, yeah, that basically they don't believe that District 13 is dead because, like, some of the propaganda's a little telling that, like, maybe District 13 isn't fucking obliterated. And
yeah, it's all pre-recorded. It's all using the same footage over and over again of the smoking crater of District 13.
It's just a crater, and then, like, there's a wooden sign sticking out of it that says, this is totally District 13. Signed, the capital.
But yeah, all the footage from the news broadcasts have just been the same footage over and over again.
It's looping. But yeah, Katniss presses X'd out. But still thinks it's interesting, I guess. Yeah, so she goes back to District 12, realizes that whole electrocution thing on the fence that's around District 12, 24/7 now, probably because she left. And and a week passes. Then, you know, more wedding prep happens, I guess. Like there's a wedding dress photo shoot. It's just broadcast. I don't know. Celebrity shenanigans.
Wedding propaganda.
Yeah. This broadcast is followed by Snow being like, "Yo, guys, Panem's got some sick history, right? Also, the Quarter Quell." Yo!
What?
So, the Quarter Quell is basically...
Every 25 Hunger Games, there's a special Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Special rules and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, this year's Quell, ladies and gents, we're dragging old contestants back into the ring again. They're dragging 2 from each district, but since Katniss is the only one that's a woman from District 12, she has to go back in the arena.
Of course, they take Peeta instead of Haymitch as well.
Yeah, what do you mean? A 50-year-old alcoholic?
He'd lose so fast.
He would choose to die. He would literally just stand in the cornucopia.
I dare any of you to come and kill me.
Which is the Mike Tyson of the Hunger So Katniss is like, oh man, I have to go back into the arena. Gets drunk with Haymitch. Underage drinking, let's go. Peeta nags them both about getting drunk and is like, come on, guys, we have to train! We have to train for the competition! And After this, Katniss has made the executive decision that she's gonna die to save Peeta in the game. Because she owes him a favor for saving her in the original one. They all do the thing. There is a day of reaping, because that's how it is.
Of course there is.
Hamish.
Some districts don't only have 3 champions.
Yeah. I think I
Really?
distinctly remember in the movie this scene, because like they literally have the 2 jars again full of that are supposed to be full of names, and then the one on the women's side just has the one fucking ballot. Because the only female contestant is Katniss. That was always hilarious to me. It's just like, why would it's obvious who you're picking. And anyway, they do the thing. Haymitch's name is called, but Peeta's like, nah, fam, volunteering.
And it is worth noting that in case it wasn't already painfully obvious that the Capitol did this to kill Katniss and Peeta, they did it to kill Katniss and Peeta.
Yep. 100%.
Because clearly the anti-rebellion propaganda wedding isn't working.
Yeah.
So death.
Just kill him. Solves the problem. So yeah, they all go on the train again. Woo!
Chugga 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 chugga.
Chugga 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 chugga. Yeah, okay, so on the train, we get some backstory for Haymitch. Woo! Yahoo! Basically, he won the game by realizing that the force field just bounces back weapons.
It bounces back everything, aside from people who just... It also bounces them back, but it also charges them to a crisp.
Yeah.
yeah, it's electrics.
Yeah, so that's how he won his Hunger Games, I guess.
And that's also why the Capitol did kill his entire family.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you didn't account for all the loopholes, bitch.
They perceived him bouncing a thing off the force field to get the last kill. They saw it as him like manipulating Capitol technology to make fools of them, and so they killed all of his loved ones.
When literally all he did was just like
he just ricocheted,
dodge an attack,
yeah,
dodge the throwing axe.
Yeah. Yeah, so we basically go through the same song and dance as we did the first time, except instead of it being a bunch of teenagers, it's a bunch of old people.
It's not a bunch of old people, it's a bunch of people who are
like 20s to 30s.
Yeah, who are ranging from their 20s to their 80s. There is one really old woman, if I remember.
They're not teenagers, therefore they're so old, guys.
They're so old.
They're so unbelievably old. Yeah, so yeah, it's basically the same song and dance. They have the ceremony, they have the training. Yeah, they have the interview. During the interview, Peeta does it again. Drops a bombshell again, but this time it's a lie. He lies.
Yeah, this time he is lying.
This time he's lying because Katniss. He says Katniss and him are already married, which is not true, and that Katniss is pregnant.
Specifically, when he says like, "Oh, if only it weren't for the baby," and the interviewer is immediately like, "Baby."
Baby! I love how over exaggerated you did it. Like, if only it weren't for the baby.
He's not a very good liar,
No.
but the capital needs it up, man.
Yeah.
If I were in the if I were in this world, I would see PETA and Katniss as the fucking Kardashians.
Even if they're bad at acting, you're like, the baby!
Or correction, if I were in the world of the Hunger Games and not nearly as cynical and government hating as I am now, I would see them as the Kardashians instead of the fucking Messiah.
Yeah.
That's part of the point of the games. Is to make them entirely into entertainment instead of anything else.
Yeah.
Not human people, and certainly not revolutionary leaders.
No, yeah, definitely not. No. So the day of the quell comes forth. And Cinna gets fucking kicked the shit out of and arrested.
Yeah. So like Cinna, I think, was not given instructions to address Katniss in a certain way, but was like very on the beat of like, they're gonna want me to make you look like a incredibly vulnerable in like this giant poofy gown, and I'm not gonna do that, and they're probably gonna kill me.
Yeah. But yeah, the game starts. The game starts.
Game starts.
Yeah, the game starts. So the first hurdle. The cornucopia is on an island surrounded by water. Second hurdle. Katniss, PETA, and two others run into the jungle. PETA fucking face plants into the force field. Like an idiot. He's so dumb, guys. He's so dumb. PETA fucking dies. But he gets resurrected.
He doesn't like fully die.
No, his heart stops beating. He dies.
Sure, I guess that's technically death.
Yeah, but
he goes into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, he gets CPR. He comes back.
Your heart stopping isn't necessarily. My heart stopped once before, and I'm still alive.
Well, yeah, but like.
Yeah, but you're a lich.
I'm not a lich anymore. Maybe.
Peter's brought back to life. Damn it. And they're all like, let's sleep here, only to be attacked by a fog that fucking burns skin. They try to run from the fog. One of the people's like, nah, can't do it anymore. Kisses the other contestant on the forehead and then just fucking literally runs into the fog and kills themselves.
That's a brutal way to commit suicide.
Seriously. The rest of them make it to the center water and just dive in to cleanse themselves of the toxic fumes. They're then attacked by monkeys.
Monkeys?
Um,
And like a whole bunch of things happen in the arena, and
A
they're
lot of
trying to survive
yeah,
and
but-
try and fabricate a way out of the situation.
yeah, but an interesting note is that every time Pete is about to die, a tribute sacrifices themselves so that doesn't happen.
Yes. People are actively trying to keep him alive.
Yes.
After all, Katniss's baby needs to grow up with a father. That's
Right?
totally the only reason for that.
Yeah.
Message was approved by the Ministry of Truth.
wrong dystopia. Get out of here.
You can't tell me that there's not like some form of the Ministry of Truth.
Probably. I don't know if it's called that or not.
Yeah, so so yeah, through deliberation they figure out the whole gimmick of this thing, which is that it's like a clock and every attack happens at a certain time. Once again, PETA is saved in an attack.
Plot point: PETA almost dies. Plot point: PETA almost dies.
Yeah.
PETA almost dies.
PETA almost dies.
Plot
PETA-
point: PETA almost dies again.
Yeah. That's what this is boiling down to. It's. Just gonna skip to the end here. Okay, they got hold of a wire.
Wire.
A wire, yeah, like a electrical wire. And they're trying to make use of it for something, but that something is irrelevant because attack happens again. And Katniss makes the realization that, wait a minute, these people aren't my enemy, the Capitol's my enemy. And so she takes the wire that was originally attached to someone's knife, attaches it to the arrow of her bow, and just and just basically fucking shoots this arrow at a hole that was pointed out in the force field a little earlier. The wire is attached basically to the top of a tree, where lightning strikes at a particular time, I believe, because this whole thing is timed. And that makes the force field fucking explode.
Problemo.
Yeah, so basically, she gets put on a hover pad and taken away, and she's thinking, oh man, I did it now. I'm gonna die. They're gonna kill me. But it was District 13, actually. They're real guys.
There's so many times in this series where Katniss thinks, well, it's finally over. I'm gonna die now.
Nope.
Yeah.
You don't get to die until never. You don't get to die.
You don't get to die until you've given birth.
You have to have the
totally real
not
baby.
the baby. She gets like she wakes up in the presence of like District 13, and then they fucking like grab her by the shoulders, like, "Is the baby okay?"
Yeah, she has pregnancy-induced plot armor.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. So basically, District 13 yoinked her out of the Quarter Quell, along with the rest of them, except PETA, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
he
they missed
he
PETA.
definitely doesn't get out of it.
Oopsie daisies. So yeah, basically there was this whole plan the entire time to get them out. Like that was why people kept jumping in front of PETA and stuff. And basically, they tell her that Katniss has become the symbol of the rebellion that's going on throughout the most of Panem now. And so long as she's alive, the rebellion's alive. But unfortunately, they did not get PETA. PETA was captured by the Capitol. Oof. Yikes for him. And also, District 12 has been nuked. It's gone.
I believe the correct terminology is District 13.
Well, apparently not, because District 13 still exists.
Yeah, and if District 13 survived getting nuked, District 12 totally can. This is not propaganda.
True. And on that bombshell, Catching Fire ends. Do we have any notes on Catching Fire?
Is the baby okay?
I kind of like how specifically the quarter quell portion of it basically went the exact same way it did in the first book.
Yeah.
It almost shows how formulaic the whole thing is. Like, yes, we're gonna have you do the exact same thing again. And again, and again.
In perpetuity, forever.
Yeah.
And this will only work. It will never come back to haunt us.
Yeah. Totally, 100%.
You know, unless someone finds out our super secret about how we're controlling them. But that'll never happen. We've gone 73 Hunger Games before without anyone finding out the truth.
It's supposed to be secret that we controlled them?
Yes. Yes,
You're not
100%.
gonna like this, boss. A general note on the aspect of adaptation, which is that in the books you're in Katniss's head and you're viewing all of the horrors through her head and her eyes.
And you get like to hear her thoughts directly.
Yeah. And in the movies, this is a clever aspect of adaptation, but I think it also takes away from the point of the series. Which is that in the movies, you are positioned literally as the audience of the Hunger Games, diegetically within the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, in doing so, you're not like viewing all the horror and the spectacle that comes with it through the eyes of someone literally participating in it, forced to participate in it. You are another observer watching it happen.
Yeah, you're watching it less as an experience and more as a spectacle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's a clever way of adapting it into a movie. I think also, it takes away from the point of the series. In the same way that, like, anything beyond, because the book that Suzette Collins wrote, Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel book that she wrote, came out in like a while ago. I only recently got a movie adaptation several months ago. And the thing is, I know for a fact that she has no further intention to return to the world. At least that's what she's generally stated. Is like, I've finished. I'm done. Like, I did the thing I wanted to do. I have other stuff to do.
Yeah, it's like, it's done. We
and
did it.
Like,
Good job, lads.
It's in a general sense of like more books about other Hunger Games in the past would kind of fuck with the point that the original books are stressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prequel is the story of President Snow and how he became the man that he is in the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really interesting because throughout the book you can see like several points in time where it's like, hey, you could choose to do the right thing here, and every time he's like, but I want like power and authority.
Not just
And
power,
yeah, I
also
guess
authority.
I do want like genuine relationships, but if I have power and authority, I can just make people like me.
So he's like, he doesn't degrade into a piece of shit. He's just born a piece of shit.
He wasn't born a piece of shit either. He became a piece of shit very, very rapidly and stayed that way.
Mm.
There is no redemption arc for Snow. He just fucking dies.
Good.
Yeah, he dies in the prequels.
He does in the prequel.
Totally.
The Snow that you see in the books is in the original trilogy is actually a clone. A robot clone.
They really fucked around with one of those dogs to make it more human.
The most human mutt to ever exist.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is gonna be a long episode. Mockingjay!
This is gonna be a really, really long one. Unless we do Mockingjay really, really succinctly.
I mean, the whole book is basically just
Rebellion.
Katniss and
Governor.
the rest of the fucking districts at war with the capital.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's districts 1, 2, and 4 are siding with the capital, I think.
Yeah, they are, I think.
But yeah, civil war, rebellion.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, Mockingjay, Katniss is with the District 13 now, where they have President Coin.
What are these fucking names,
I don't
man?
know.
Well, President Coin is named that because she's the other side of the coin.
Ha 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 ha.
It's a very obvious symbolic name, but it's there for a reason.
What's the symbology with Peeta's name?
Bread
Bread.
boy?
Like I said, someone explained it to me once. I sure don't remember.
Oh, it's not. Apparently, it's not that important.
much like the noble pita bread.
Much like the noble pita bread.
He sure is tasty.
Yeah.
You ate him?
He wasn't contributing much else.
He's like the moral backbone of the. The only person with a sense of morality here.
And he's also the only
I'm gonna
person
be
that
real.
tastes like pita bread.
I'm gonna be real. If Peeta and Gale were both removed from the story, I think I can't even remember his name. Old guy, alcoholic.
Haymitch?
Haymitch, yeah. I feel like Haymitch would be the moral backbone. He would sober up to become the moral backbone.
Sober up to become the moral backbone. He does actually start sobering up in Mockingjay.
He does.
To like try and actually join the rebellion effort.
Yeah.
He does enter severe withdrawals and is still not very good at fighting because of the severe withdrawals, but
yeah, but I feel like having a physically distressed mentor as your moral backbone is a compelling narrative.
I mean, it's pretty classic.
I'd much prefer it over teenage boy.
Yeah, I also much prefer it over the weird love triangle that happens.
True.
Hey, first of all, it's a love angle. Second of all, I already explained why it's there.
I know why it's there.
I know why it's there. I just prefer prefer Haymitch over either of the other two.
That's
I'm
because
turning.
you like drunk old men as characters, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not my fault that.
I do too.
It's not my fault that Hunger Games kind of only perpetuated the whole love triangle / angle thing. It
No.
definitely did not make it fade into obscurity.
Okay, no, it didn't. But I'm not about to blame Hunger Games for playing.
No, I'm not going to blame Hunger Games for starting it. I'm going to blame it for
It didn't
perpetuating
start it. Twilight did.
Yeah, I know. Twilight started it. I'm blaming Hunger Games for continuing it.
I don't think you blame Hunger Games for continuing it because everybody else afterwards fully missed the fucking point.
I love the volume of each.
Yeah, I know, but because Hunger Games did it well, ish.
Hunger Games did. We can agree. Hunger Games did it better than all of the bad mimics afterwards.
Yes, Hunger Games did it the best of the
God.
the Hunger Game likes, we'll call them.
The YA dystopia craze.
Yeah, that. Which is why it continued to be so popular. So yes, I am going to blame Hunger Games for perpetuating it.
Anyway, the basically District 13 needs Katniss to be the face of their propaganda. Katniss is like hesitant at first, but then eventually agrees. Her and I'm having a stroke. Her and Haymitch are having a spat. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure I read Mockingjay while I was sick, so I really don't remember fucking anything about it aside from Snow dies at the end.
Yeah. They're both angry and then they talk it out. Fucking.
You can really tell that over the course of the recording session we get more tired and deranged.
Yeah. They go to District 8. War stuff happens where I think this is where the titular character that Moist Critical Charlie plays in the background of this scene.
What?
You didn't know that?
Moist Critical Charlie is in.
Yes, he's an
The
extra.
Hunger Games?
I think he was meant to be, and then they may have cut out his shot. He was there when they were shooting it. He was an extra.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so they see it after all this, they see an interview. They see an interview that the Capitol does with PETA. It's very clear he's been tortured. Oh no. More propaganda shots. The Capitol bombs District 13 again. But
For real this time.
Yeah, but they're underground, so like they're just underground. Oh, and also Katniss's family, like mom and sister, are in District 13. They didn't get fucking obliterated in District 12. I forgot to mention that. They're fine. Conflict about PETA. And okay, conflict about PETA, and she realizes she can't be the propaganda piece for the District 13 because of PETA, and she just fucking goes into hysteria.
She goes along in a very mentally fragile place the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the start of book 1 to now.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, and because of her move to not be to decide to not be their promo piece, they were like, okay, now we should save PETA.
I guess we'll get him.
Like, I guess we'll get him.
Now that'll be useful.
Yeah, they get him. They get PETA. The rescue mission's a success, except whoa, he's been brainwashed. He fucking attacks her and strangles her. Um. Yeah, so basically they have to talk him out of it.
He's been brainwashed.
Yeah.
He's been they call it a different thing. But he's been brainwashed.
Yeah, he's been brainwashed.
Hijacked.
Yeah.
Like a car.
Yeah, the human mind is the most advanced car on the planet.
They go to District 2. They gotta get control of District 2. They gotta get control of the nut. I'm not kidding.
The nut?
Yeah. It's a it's a military compound, basically. Yes. Plan to get thing works, I think. Yeah, so sorry, no, plan does not work. Everything goes to shit. Katniss ends up in hospital.
The hospital.
The hospital. There's a wedding, not for Katniss, for someone else. More military stuff. They go to the capital. They're gonna try to take the capital. They do a bunch of stuff in the capital.
Do you still have the spark notes up, or are you just going off memory?
I still have the spark notes.
so is the third book just this disjointed?
Kinda.
No, there's a bunch of stuff that happens in between.
Yeah, it's just
But
not
we're
important.
running out of time.
Yeah, we're out of time, and it's not that important.
I think it's important. I think we're just out of time.
Yeah, we are out of time. It's fine though.
We can just have a longer episode.
We can. I'm tired though.
Let it be known, this is not for like fully informative reasons. We're doing this because it's fun and funny.
Yes, entirely yes. Yeah, and by the way, all of these missions have entirely been for propaganda stuff, because Katniss is the face of the propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this capital thing, still a propaganda thing. Yeah, the progress on Peter's fucking thing, brain, whatever. Brainwashing, there we go.
Hijacking. Like a car.
Yeah. This is when they find out that the entirety of the capital is apparently rigged like the fucking game arena is. Because a bunch of stuff keeps triggering that you would not expect to trigger in the middle of a capital. Yeah, they're in the capital, they're in the capital, they're running around in the capital, they're doing fights in the capital, they're surviving in the capital.
They do a lot of things in the capital.
They do a lot of stuff in the capital. They get to the city circle, which I think is basically just the middle of the capital. So they get to the city circle. They basically get to Snow's house, which he has barricaded with children, using children as a
Yeah, that's
wall.
right.
That he then blows up. Yeah, he blows up a bunch of children because he's insane. Katniss notices that like her sister might be in there, which I still don't know how she got in there, personally. But anyway, Katniss just running around trying to find her sister. Prim's like about to say Katniss's name, and then more bombs go off, and then Prim fucking dies.
She gets exploded. Fun fact about these bombs: they're the bombs that Gale made earlier.
Whee!
He didn't explode her, but they were his bombs.
Yes. Yeah, so bombs go off. Katniss actually gets set on fire. Yeah, she's in horrible pain, but she gets taken to a hospital again. Capital falls. The Capitol falls finally. President Coin takes charge. Snow's a prisoner. And they basically have this whole execution thing. But before they do that, just before they do that, actually, Coin is like, hey, you guys want to hold like one more Hunger Games, except we use the Capitals kids this time?
It's like, oh,
You know, for old time's sake.
for all time's sake.
Yeah. Peeta votes no because he's like, what the fuck? But Katniss is like, yes, because they blew up my sister and I hate them. The total vote is in favor of the games. Start the cycle again, baby. And Katniss sees that after all the death and suffering, nothing has changed. And why did you vote yes? Wait, what? Anyway.
I remember voting yes.
That's what the notes say.
That's what the notes say.
Okay.
Maybe are the notes wrong?
Nah. Anyway.
Impossible.
Snow is to be executed in the city circle. By Katniss with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And she decides nah and kills Coin instead.
Realizing that everything will just repeat over and over and over again, and that President Coin is just the other side of the. That's only half on purpose.
I think you got some analogies stuck in your throat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Katniss is then fucking just taken away, probably getting a death sentence in her mind.
No, yeah, she fully lives. She's treated
I
as
know.
if she went like fully fucking insane.
Yeah. Weeks pass. No one sees her. She's trying to starve herself at this point. She's basically going crazy. Haymitch enters finally and is like, "Hey, we're going home." Turns out,
You know that place that got nuked.
yeah, that place that got nuked. Yeah, Snow is literally torn to shreds by the fucking crowd. after Katniss was pulled away, so he's dead.
Well,
And
at least someone killed him.
yeah. So basically, the people around her got her to avoid the death sentence by basically going, "She's crazy. We need to take her home where she can be crazy in peace."
She can be crazy in peace.
For months she's just sort of in her house alone. She's she's doing a depression thing where she's not showering or changing her clothes or anything. She's not taking care of herself.
I know what that's like.
She's just like me for real.
Yeah.
We are unwell.
Yeah, basically it's just her slowly getting better. just getting better. It's her and Peeta reconciled, get together again. And there's a cut of 15 years later, and they have kids. Now the babies are real.
The babies are real.
Yeah, that's the end of that book.
Story end. I'll be
Thoughts,
honest.
feelings.
This is one of the few times where it's like a character has a baby at the end of book that I'm not like that upset about, because the narrative purpose of it is that like the world is safe enough now that she can have kids.
Yeah.
Whereas before that was never even like an actual thought.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, and most other things, I fucking hate it a lot of the time.
Yeah, a lot of
I don't hate it in Hunger Game.
Yeah, like in the Hunger Games, it seems less like a, because a lot of times when it ends with they have baby, it's this sort of idea of like, well, of course they have baby. That is how people work. Which is
Everybody know.
everybody know.
You have one man and one woman in a room together for 10 minutes.
There will be baby.
Baby.
A baby appears.
Baby just forms. But anyway, yeah, no, it's a lot of times it feels like it's trying to push that idea, and in Hunger Games, Mockingjay here, like, not only does it have a whole section where it's like it's showing Katniss just going from like this deep depression to getting better, over the course of like a long period of time, but it literally skips to like 15 years later.
Yeah.
and it, and you know, and like and like what you said, it's less about woman men have baby, and it's more about showing that the world has improved to the point where Katniss is no longer worrying about everyone around her dying and like everything going to shit, and she has had, and she had enough confidence in the world and in her circumstances to have children. Because if we looked at Katniss when all that shit was happening during the book, that was not on the table. Not only because of her age, because she was 16, but
No matter how many times Peter lies about it.
yeah, but also because like they were in the middle of a war, you know. It makes me think
You
of,
didn't want to like bring a kid into the world and then have that kid get Hunger Gamed.
yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they do say in the books like the children of victors are more likely to get drawn. like they claim that all the odds are even for everybody. Unless you do like, there's also like a tesseract system where like you can put your name in the thing more to receive food, for your family. So like that's also a thing. But like generally, they say that the odds are even, but like they do sometimes rig it so that it's more likely for the child of a victor to get picked, because then it's like a sequel.
Yeah. Whoa. But yeah, it it almost makes me think of like during World War II versus after World War II. You know, because like during World War II, you're not likely to have children. Everyone's in a war right now. And then,
Okay,
yeah,
that's where this was going.
yeah, but then, you know, once the war was over and everyone came back,
People fucked like a lot.
so many babies.
Also, like people were fucking throughout the entirety of the war. It's just like,
Just not with their spouses.
just not with their spouses.
Getting fucked is an army requirement.
Oh my God.
Military requirement. If you are away from home for an extended period, it is all but guaranteed.
Okay.
I assume we finished the episode.
Yeah, I still need a noise from you, Peter.
Let me talk more about my grandparents and their war.
Blows up pancakes with mine.
My fucking pain.
I'm dead now.
I blew up coal with my mind.
No, coal was pancakes. Subscribe to Trope Troupe, or the capital's gonna get you. Probably kill your whole family or something, I don't know.